All right, you all, I am back with another juicy gossip story of the infamous Phat Daddy. If you do not know who Phat Daddy is, the Florida native made his porn debut in 2006, and he made his debut with his brother, King Dingo. I will speak briefly on King Dingo as well, but I don't want to make this video be about the both of them because I do feel like each of them were kind of legends in their own right. They made a name for themselves, so I won't do a video of the both of them. However, he did, do a debut with his brother or whatever. There are speculations to whether they're real brothers or not. I have not found one piece of conflicting information that they're not brothers, so I am going to assume that in real life they are blood brothers or whatever. There's also been brief speculation on whether Phat Daddy is truly black, because a lot of people don't believe he's truly black. You have a lot of people that have accused him of being Latino or being mixed. Whatever the case is, the man have always said he's black. I don't know why that's so hard to believe. In the black community, there are a lot of light-skinned black people. It's not unheard of. You could have a great white granddaddy you may not know about, whatever, and that DNA trickled down to you. It happens. So I don't know why that's a topic of subject when Phat Daddy is brought up in conversations that we have in today's era. However, the man is black, and it is said that, King Dingo is his blood brother. So now that we've gotten it out the way, let's get into the infamous tale of Phat Daddy. Now, one thing I will say is, depending on who you talk to, you get so many different versions of who Phat Daddy was. I have watched interviews where the man seemed very, relatable, very outgoing, just very friendly and down to earth or whatever. And I have a lot of people that have met him that have said, that the man is a cool ass person to be around. He just had a very laid back personality, while you have some gay people that allege that Phat Daddy, after he got that fame, he became very arrogant. People didn't like him. They would speak to him and he would act all sedity and standoffish or whatever. So, depending on what his personality is, it depends on who you talk to. Okay, and you don't know how much of it you want to believe or whatever, because sometimes gay people will give you a label of being arrogant or stuck up just because you're not their type. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to date you. So you take it with a grain of salt. Regardless, Phat Daddy, again, he made his debut in 2006, and he reigned heavily from 2006 to 2015. But sadly and unfortunately, between that 9-year time frame that he filmed, he's only credited with 27 scenes. Well, let me get into the reasons of why. The first reason it's being said that he did not, get that many scenes and he kind of started to spiral downwards was because he did not like the fact how the gay community compared him to his brother. It is said that he hated that. The gay community was always pitting them against one another, trying to compare their pipe sizes or who laid it down better, and who was the more relatable brother, who was the more attractive brother. He did not like that. He did not want his 9-to-5 job to come between him and his blood brother. Who would? But the gay community is famous for doing that. So it's being alleged that that was one of the things that, kind of started to really turn his stomach, and he was kind of hesitant on filming more scenes because he didn't like what the gay community was doing. However, he soldiered through, and like I said, the man started to make a name for himself in his own right. Baby, Phat Daddy, where, King Dingo was known for that stroke, Phat Daddy was known for his passion, and he was just known for, being very relatable in his scenes with the bottoms that he filmed with, which was kind of unheard of because, again, in a time that he really started to get a name for himself and really get that fame, you had Thugzilla, you had Mr. Markey, you had those kind of tops who were kind of dominating the scene with being really standoffish and being mean or not showing as much passion in their scenes with their bottoms or whatever. So, it was a breath of fresh air when you saw, Phat Daddy film with his bottoms, because he was a top that didn't have that persona. He seemed very relatable with the bottoms. But baby, what should have taken his career to the next level is this scene that he did right here. You cannot be a Phat Daddy fan if you don't know the infamous scene that he did with Angel Valentino. If you have never seen that scene, I beg of you to Google Fat Daddy versus Angel Valentino. Baby, he did that scene so well. Y'all, hear me and hear me good. He showed so much passion. He did so much love making in that scene to where people started to speculate if they were a real life couple. And that put him on the map. At that point, all the freaking tops became very jealous of him because a lot of bottoms loved that. You know, that was kind of unheard of in the 2010s when they were trying to kind of graduate to that thug persona, you know, that thug boy mentality or whatever. So when, you know, he was showing that passion with Angel, baby, people loved him, they adored him, and they wanted to see what he was going to do next. Every other bottom wanted to film with the infamous Fat Daddy at this point, because now he has cemented his legacy in the black gay adult film industry. So you want to know, why didn't he go to the next level? Here it goes. Shortly after that scene that he did with the infamous, you know, Angel Valentino or whatever, it's being said that he got arrested. That legal issue started to cost him financially or whatever. He was financially strapped, so he went to the production companies and, you know, demanded a raise. He's like, something gotta give. I need money because, you know, I'm financially depleted. I don't have no funds right now. Well, these production companies told him, no, you know, you gonna get what you gonna get, and that's the end of it. Well, there is somebody who did see a golden opportunity to take full advantage of him, and that person is the infamous Tiger Tyson. Tiger Tyson happened to have heard about the financial woes that Fat Daddy was facing, and it's being alleged that he made a proposal that Fat Daddy couldn't refuse. He said, hey, you have never bottomed on camera or whatever. So if you film a scene with me and you let me top you, I will pay you what you're asking for. Now, Fat Daddy did not readily agree. Not like you think. He did hesitate because, think about it, he was kind of on his way to being the next Tiger Tyson. Like I said, the man was sought out after. Everybody wanted to film with him, but he needed the money. That was what became his downfall, and that became his worst enemy. So he eventually agreed, but with a stipulation. Y'all got to hear the scandal. The stipulation was, I will film this scene with you, and I will let you top me only if we can film another scene in the future, and I have to take you down. If I take you down and I top you, then that will make me legendary again. And it's being alleged that Tiger Tyson agreed. He said, okay, you got a deal. So he paid him what he was worth. He did this scene. And baby, when I tell y'all, this scene did not work out in Fat Daddy's favor. The gay community ate him up. Kind of like very parallel to how black women treat, you know, men that are bisexual or have feminine ways. They kind of emasculate them. Well, you can be a top in a gay community, and you could have topped 1,000 bottoms, but the first time you are seen getting topped by somebody, you damage your reputation as a strict top in the gay community. The gay community start to emasculate you. Well, this is what happened, and it broke Fat Daddy down, y'all. It's being said that that man went into a very dark state of depression because the gay community chewed him up and spit him out. They could not believe that their favorite top of that era had degraded himself and did this bottoming scene with Tiger Tyson. And what's worse, y'all, the gay community did what they always do. Whenever it's a scene that's done with a person who's bottoming for the first time, they go to crying essay. A lot of the gay community was also being it was said that the gay community was saying that scene was very painful to watch. It looked like he was being essayed. It looked like he was doing it against his will, and you know, it was just I couldn't even stomach it. I couldn't even get through it or whatever. Y'all know I hate that. Y'all know I hate that the gay community always label every freaking thing as pedo behavior, predatory behavior. They just made it toxic, y'all, but they basically went in on Fat Daddy. But it's being said that that dark depression that he was in was short-lived because, remember, he had made that proposal with Tiger Tyson that I'm going to take you down. So in his mind, I'm about to redeem myself. When I take down Tiger Tyson, I'm going to get my legacy back. Well, watch what happens next in part 2.